Richard, how are you doing?
I'm doing so wonderful. Thanks be to God.
You're always
Before
like
I
that.
say anything, I got to give a shout out to one of Catholic TV's biggest supporters and one of my biggest fans. He was a great friend of my father, the late great Dick Knight Train Lane. His name is Dave Robitaille. So every time I'm on Catholic TV, I get a text or a phone call from Dave. So God bless you, Dave, and Bishop. If you and Jay would pray for him, appreciate it greatly.
We certainly will. Yeah, hey, and by the way, we were talking beforehand. Congratulations on Michigan winning the national title with proudly showing your Michigan colors there.
Amen. Amen. Back to back to back Big Ten championships. God is so good.
Well, I don't know if Ohio State would say the same thing.
That's all right. They are Samaria. So we don't worry about that.
Well, Richard, yeah, we were talking about missions and the importance of missions, especially during Lent. And you do missions. Well, tell us about some of
Yes.
your work and why they're important.
I have, for almost 18 years now, I've done parish missions and revivals all over the world. And one of the main reasons is to revive the faith of the laity. For instance, I just did a talk yesterday at a high school called Cardinal Stritch. Shout out to them in Toledo, Ohio. We had 300 kids there, and Bishop, through the power of the Holy Spirit, we were able to set those 300 kids on fire. We had adoration of the Blessed Sacrament. The kids' lives were literally touched. They were given an invitation to come down and to present themselves and to have an encounter with Jesus Christ in the Eucharist. Bishop, all 300 of those kids came down out of the stands and they surrounded the Blessed Sacrament. They held each other. They laughed. They prayed. They cried. The Holy Spirit was moving. And that is what we need in this modern day in the United States of America, to be able to, as John Paul II said, let our kids know that they are the present and the future of this great church and this great nation.
Absolutely. I can almost picture that scene. Thank you for sharing that with us. It must have been very powerful. I just want to switch topics here just a little bit. As you know, February is Black History Month, but could you share with us, if you would, some of the people who are African American Catholics and who are on the road to sainthood? Because I think people need to know that there are many, many people who are praised for their holiness.
Yes, yes. There we have the big six, and if you go to my YouTube page, you'll see some of those. Just go to Richard Lane Ministries. But a couple of people off the top of my head, Sister Thea Bowman is by far my hero. You have the story of this wonderful black nun who was a Franciscan nun from Canton, Mississippi, who was raised Methodist. At the age of 12, she told her parents she wanted to convert to Catholicism. Sister Thea Bowman was a nun, and in 1989, she preached to 400 white Catholic bishops at the USCCB, the National Bishops Conference. And at the end, she had all 400 of these bishops standing on their feet singing, "We Shall Overcome." She always talked about I bring my whole self, I bring everything that I am. That's what African Americans do. And then finally, also, you have the story of Father Augustus Tolton, who was born a slave and became a priest. He was not ordained in the United States because at that time, the Catholic Church said that they would never ordain a man of color. And so he was ordained in Rome, came back to the United States, where he was known as that N-word priest to those N-word Catholics. And he was such a prolific priest that he was administering the sacraments to all of God's children, black and white. But yet we had a church at that time that said, well, we can't have a black priest giving the sacraments to good white folk. So they moved him to Chicago, Illinois, where he died at a very early age in his late 40s of a stroke. But he was the one, and we celebrate that. We as a church, not just African Americans, but we as a Catholic church celebrate how far we have come in the last 400 years since we've been here at this nation.
Richard, why is it important, too, that we know this history? And I think of the young kids you were talking to at the high school, why they should know this history. Why is it so important?
Because if we don't know history, then we're destined to repeat it. You know, and I don't want to repeat some of the stuff that the Catholic Church has done in the past. One of the main things that I always tell them, Bishop, I'm not being condescending, but you may not know this, but you're an educated man, you might. Out of the 266 or 67 Holy Fathers that we've ever had, how many of them have been black?
One?
Since Peter?
One?
Three.
Three.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Three. Pope St. Miltiades, Pope St. Gelasius, and Pope St. Victor. One of those popes was responsible for giving us the season of Advent. And so, again, these are the things that we as a church should always know and to share with those who continue to be in this church so we can teach our young people.
I couldn't agree more.
Richard, always a pleasure. Where can people learn more about your work?
RichardLaneMinistries.com. You can find me on all platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you so much for, and I mean this in the bottom of my heart, thank you for seeing color. Thank you for seeing the beauty that people of color bring to this great church of ours.
Richard, it's always a pleasure. Hopefully we'll have you back soon, okay? Thank you.
Anytime. God
Have
bless.
a great Lent. Bye.